Welcome back to Mystical Heart Tarot Readings. This is the special edition I talked about for shadow work. Before I start with the cards, I want to read what's in the box that these cards came in. You cannot become the best version of yourself until you love your worst version. Because after you give love to your darkness, the light comes. And that is the path to healing. Credit goes to the creator of this deck called the Dark Reflections. All right, go ahead and get started. Let's see what we get here. I'll pull the oracle. Well, do I want to pull the oracle first or do I want to pull the tarot first? We'll pull the tarot first. All right. I swear I try to get this camera angle right because the camera keeps moving on me on the boom. Every day I have to rearrange it. All right. So we have the King of Cups. We have the Four of Wands. We have the Chariot, which could represent somebody under the sign of Cancer, but not necessarily, just letting you know that. And you know in this deck that the majors have different, they reflect different thoughts and different ideas from the average tarot deck. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles here. This King of Cups. Now, see, in the other deck, this King of Cups is presented sitting in a body of water that's rough. In this deck, he's not. So he may be working on trying to control his emotions. Looking to see what's in this picture. He looks like he's older. This looks like an older person sitting there. So with the Four of Wands, see, if this card was upright, it would look like this. This reminds me of the two people that's usually on the Devil card. but this isn't the devil card. This is the Four of Wands. So this card's in reverse. So there may be, what I'm seeing here is, because I'm seeing it this way, what I'm seeing here is there may be, even though this is not cups, I feel like there's some love loss here. I feel like there's some love loss here. So somebody here is having problems. I see problems when it comes regarding love for others. Problems deciding on whether or not they're going to love others or not. Does this person have any value in the love for others? So we have the Fool card in reverse. And with it being in reverse, this is about being distrustful. So I feel like somebody is indecisive about loving others because they are distrustful. They are distrustful and don't know if they really have that much value to them or not. Now, this could go back to being trust issues that I talked about, and I believe it was yesterday's message from Spirit. When I talked about trust issues before, I believe it was yesterday's message from Spirit, we talked about how short-term trust issues versus long-term trust issues, and how you might be able to overcome one quicker than the other. If you've been having trouble with not trusting somebody for a very long time, quite a number of years, then that's going to be a lot more difficult to overcome than it would be if you've only known somebody for maybe about a year or two. Yes, even though it's only been a year or two, there's going to be trust issues, but you're going to be a little more careful, and you're probably going to overcome those trust issues a little quicker than you would if the relationship had been going on for quite some time now. And although I don't have communication here, communication is a key component in whether you trust someone or not. But then again, when it comes to trust, actions speak louder than words. If you have trust issues, obviously things are going to trigger those issues. Let's see what the oracles say. And a lot of times, the trust issues might get projected onto other people wrongfully. So that's something that people need to work on, is not, it's difficult knowing whether you can trust somebody or not. And you really don't want to place trust issues on people that really you shouldn't have a problem trusting. There shouldn't be an issue there to begin with because they've never given you a reason and their actions do speak louder than words. Inner cosmos. To embrace the light, first acknowledge the dark. Trauma. Seeing. Go deeper. So, yes, trust can be traumatic. Trust issues can be traumatic. If you have trust issues built up, and I see this quite a bit in some of the YouTube channels that I watch, specifically, well, I don't want to say it, but where there's lie detectors administered, I see trust issues constantly. And it can cause trauma. If it's something that's repeated, you might have something happen and you might not realize that it had happened to you previously in your childhood. Abandonment issues. That's trust issues. So here, the inner cosmos, to embrace the light, first acknowledge the dark. You first have to acknowledge the fact you do have darkness. We all do. We all do. We have both light and dark. A lot of times the dark is caused by trauma. Trauma from childhood. It could be trauma from adulthood as well. It doesn't have to be childhood. Seeing and going deeper is about working on things that triggers our memories about those traumas. And that's what shadow work is. First thing you need to do is acknowledge the fact there is darkness in you, whether you want to admit it or not. I don't care who you are. We're all made of light and dark. It's just a matter of some of the darkness being created by trauma, something we've dealt with in our past. And if you need to do shadow work, you can go to my community tab. I do have posts to try to help assist you with shadow work. The other thing you can do, the one thing I strongly recommend is if you do have serious issues, is to seek professional help. Journaling. Professional help would be number one. Journaling. Look at my community tab. It'll give you guidelines for journaling for the shadow side. If the traumas are serious enough, all traumas are serious, but some are extreme. I highly recommend professional help. I always will recommend professional help along with doing your own shadow work. You have to be an advocate for yourself. And you're the one that's responsible for working with the things that causes something to be triggered in you. In this case, we're talking about trust today, which is no surprise. I send much love and many blessings to everybody, and I will see you back next time. Have a wonderful day.